Hello, peoples of the internet. Today, I am at altitude with the Float Truck 2, as I've called it. Now, what was wrong with the original float truck, you may ask? Have you... Probably. No, you just hate me, okay. Hello, peoples of the internet. Today, I am at altitude with the Float Truck 2, as I've called it. What was wrong with the original float truck, you may wonder? Well, the original float truck had a V8, as I may be able to show you. And it needed a V8 for one very distinct reason. It was getting heavy, and it was struggling to move its own weight, and then I ended up with an overpowered beast that was far heavier than it really ought to be. This is an inline 6, and you'll see there's nowhere near as many accessories. It's a much simpler truck. Yet we still have the interior in my favourite colour, and we have to reset because it's all wrong. And we have an automatic transmission here, so switching to realistic is a bit pointless. But it does get to 60 under 12 seconds if you time everything correctly. We have the locking differential from an earlier version of the vehicle. Open is really better for the street because we're only on 225 tyres, and we do not want to induce oversteer in this thing, since when it starts oversteering it can be nasty. It can be very pleasant though if you are careful with it and you appreciate what this is supposed to be. Really struggling to get up to 70 miles per hour here though. Mind, we are probably breaking the speed limit for this kind of area, but I really want to speed up. Oh dear. I have messed with the suspension. I think before I was also confusing the damping speed. I thought increasing the speed was decreasing it and vice versa, which was never a good thing to feel. I did quite a bit of setup on the rear actually on uneven roads near the industrial zone I used for my Rallycross series, where I tried to make sure it coped with the potholes and things quite well. This is not sporty, but because I'm going so slow, I can get away with pushing it hard. If I was going too fast, it would be a mess, and the front suspension isn't quite as evolved as the rear, hence why it will bounce around a little and things. I still have some work to do on getting this vehicle to handle as I would like it to handle. And we do have some jumps here which I'll almost certainly not make. I couldn't do them in a Formula 1 car, so why would I be able to do them in a pickup truck without a significant amount of power? I don't believe this even has 200 horsepower, so that's not exactly great. But we have a jump, and I can attempt it. If it even drives after this, I'll be surprised. We're losing speed very rapidly. And we're falling. Falling down. It's okay though, because we've landed in a mildly convenient position. You get on here. No! Tip the right way up, not this way. There we go. Well, it surprised me. It drives. Just not very well. What's left of the steering doesn't work that well. But still, it's better than nothing. The open differential is going crazy now. Time to lock it with my differential power. I did eventually remember what key I assigned to it. It was number 1. Come on! Speed! Speed, speed! Oh dear. Yep, that's why you don't trust me to attempt the jump in a pickup truck. Free of that sign, we can finally get going. I'm using these standard 30 psi tyres on the front and 21 on the rear. I've not adjusted them for the final time, but I have attempted to compensate for the weight deficit between the front and the rear. I'm just throwing words out there. I don't even know what deficit means. It just came to my mind at a convenient time. And please don't crash me. Oh. Now, the surprising thing about that was I was actually in a convenient position. Yeah, the wheel axle would be broken after that, wouldn't it? I was actually in a convenient position. I just didn't have the speed to take the jump. You'll see it racked into this kind of mud zone. The landing is just here. So if I press F7, it should respawn my vehicle. And that was actually a really nice respawn. I can just continue going. Who would have thought, eh? Anyway, we can attempt to pick up some more speed here. But again, it's not a quick vehicle. It needs a turbo, really. Unfortunately, we don't have a turbo. It's not in need of a supercharger because it's not one of those definitively American vehicles. It's not like a Dodge Charger or something. It's just a truck that needs a bit more grunt, so a turbo would be the better option because naturally turbos are easier to get power from than superchargers. Just look at Jaguars. They're not crazy powerful in their V6s just because they don't use turbos, so you can't just hike up the PSI and get crazy levels of power from it. And something's wrong. Lock the differential, it's the solution to all our problems. We are also on a sandy kind of terrain. I'm not sure if that has any difference in it. You'll see the Weir's doing a decent job on the suspension. They are coil springs, same as before, over the leaves. It's an off-road suspension system, only it's lower, I believe, than the standard off-road suspension system, if only slightly to make it more road bias. And we're back on the road, so we can open the differential. Yay! The rear's doing more work than the front by the looks of it, but so it would be because I've tuned it that way. I'll show you the settings a little later in the video. For now, I'll just let you admire my work, and even though I don't really know what I was working at because I don't understand beam suspension systems that well, but I do try, it must be said, I do try to do things that I'm not very good at. Just what the world needs. Whoa, don't fall off. Right, I'm going to try and back this up. No, 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 no. Okay, we're falling down a mountain again. Oh dear. Amazingly, I've not damaged anything important. That has to be said. My handbrake's not doing much, though. And we're saved by a tree. I wonder if I can open my tailgate. No, I can't. Both my tail lights work, though, which is odd. And one of my headlights, even though it's not even there. And we return to the mountain where we were before I stupidly tipped my truck off the side of it. I should probably have just been incredibly careful and locked the differential and not done that. Come on, we will recover. Anyway, I'm not really sure what part of the map I'm on, but it is a nice road to drive a sporty down 40 vehicle in, which is precisely what this isn't. And the front suspension really could be a little improved, maybe softer. It feels a little firm to me, but it could be a damping thing, that has to be said. The rear floats nicely. The rear did bounce up horribly, but then I fixed that. So we've got to try and make this corner. Oh dear. Oh dear. Have I damaged the front too much? No, I've damaged the rear more than I've damaged the front, which is interesting. This is the kind of vehicle I imagine people would buy as a cheapo trophy truck because they can't afford a real one. So a lot of them would probably be demolition derby waste because they're cheap compared to purpose-built things. And I've thrown into wow, that's an interestingly shaped panel. Anyway, no, you will be free. You will be free at any cost. You will be free, I said. Oh dear, this truck is not having a good time. Or to free it from a tree, look what I've done to it. The ladder frame wants to stay on the tree. It's seen what I've done to the rest of the vehicle. Free. There we go. We can keep driving now. Other than the fact that everything's broken. I can show you the rear coil springs though. Well, what's left of them. Yay, what's left of them. Now we've returned to the truck, which is actually pointing in the correct direction. We're not going to crash this again. For at least a minute, I predict. If that prediction is wrong, I don't know what to say. Come on. Over these bumps. Oh, no, 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 no. My prediction was wrong. We've not had a massive crash, but my prediction was still wrong. Oh dear. Right. Hopefully we can get to the parts we want to get to without Mr. Blobby coming out. Mr. Blobby comes out at night and he is terrifying. You do not want to be in a fight with Mr. Blobby. And I'm running out of things to talk about. Okay, that must be said. But seriously, you must not get into a fight with Mr. Blobby. You will regret it. He's stronger than all of us combined. Yay, we have a jump! I found a jump! Whoa, 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 whoa. No, have I actually made it? Yeah, I have a lack of speed even when I get it right. Somehow my truck survived that though. Somehow I've spawned pointing in the correct direction-ish. So here we have a Buzz Lightyear. He says, "Where's to?" I think it's to infinity and beyond in a foreign language. And I'm never going to make this. I can say that now. So we're going to back this up. Interesting view here actually. I don't normally see the D-series from this angle. Let's open the tailgate for better visibility. There we go. Whoa, brake. Now, I'm going to attempt it in the truck. Although I know for a fact I'm not going to make it, I just want to give it an attempt. This is the 4-speed automatic transmission, in case I haven't mentioned it. There was a 5-speed manual, but I wanted this to be more of a relaxed cruiser. So that was something. And we've thrown it off the mountain. I'm pretty sure there was a magic infinity tube. And we've made a car flag. Close enough. Oh dear. Broken all my lights this time. Disappointing. What do you use if you want crazy amounts of speed? Why, a chrome school bus, of course. Let's see how this goes. There is supposedly NOS, but I'm not sure how you activate it or if you can activate it. If this still has thrusters, we may even be able to fly with our school bus. Flying school buses, oh dear. That is not much of a school bus anymore. It's more of a silver banana, to be honest. That has to be said. Oh dear. Can we put the stop sign out, though? Yes, we can put the stop sign out. Everything is fine. And now the Drag Moon Hawk. Whoa. Drag Moon Hawk. You shall have your time to fly. Let's just change to the outside view. I'll have a look around that water in a moment, see what there is there. And we've kind of landed this. Always interesting though to see a crazy high speed crash. And it looks like we've got another jump there. So here we are with our Drag Moonhawk to tackle another jump I found. I'm not going to brake or accelerate here, I'm just going to coast. And then I'm going to floor it here and hope that I can get some good air time. And land in the water. Wouldn't that be an ending to the jump? Oh, the tyre kind of pushed it forwards there, from what I saw at least. And are we getting pulled into a whirlpool? Wow, I didn't know we had whirlpools in Beam. What happened to that tyre? What happened to everything? Ah! I don't know what's happening anymore. Maybe I've been playing too much Beam and I'm hallucinating. Maybe this is actually in the game. I don't know, all I know is there's a Moonhawk and some crazy stuff going on. Everything is an illusion. It doesn't really exist. Okay, don't drive your drag car into water. There's unforeseen consequences that will drive you crazy. So, here we are at the edge of the map. I'll just take my camera up here to show you. We just suddenly drop off, and then there is nothingness and you fall for ages. Maybe hit a floor somewhere down there. But that's the crazy tunnel. We should probably stop looking at it now. And we can get back into our car and pull swiftly away. The good thing about this Ford LTD is you always move cleanly. You never really move aggressively with it. It's just, even when you floor it, you're pretty safe. Now we do have a road there, which we could take, but I think this is a more interesting route. Hubcap flew right into my face there. This car tends to lose its hubcaps easily. It's as if I've done the cable tie work, although I say that, that's an offence to me. I actually know how to use cable ties. Pretty sure everyone knows how to use cable ties. They're not that hard to use. So what these wheels are kept on with, I really don't understand. Anyway, we are pulling through here. I'll show you out the window there. We're going quite fast here though, and the car is incredibly stable. That's what I love about this. 85 miles per hour and it doesn't feel unsafe. I attempted this video before with a Clio and it pretty much tore itself to pieces. Or should I say Charmand, as it's called in BeamNG. This vehicle is just really stable and I love that. Also we have wood. Wood makes me feel comfortable and at home because wood is good. That's my catchphrase, I think. Wood is good. It's not might is right, no, wood is good. We do have some mountain roads though, which this car is actually surprisingly good at. This is a surprisingly good handling car. You wouldn't think it, but it definitely is. And let's try and get around here. I got a bit of a slide under braking there, but nonetheless the floaty suspension dealt with the bumps well. And this is a fun place to take your favourite sporty car. This is not my sportiest car. I would have used a Pessimo all-wheel steer, but I wanted something that could effortlessly handle speed due to the way my Charmand flew into the walls and destroyed its tyres. This vehicle, as far as I know, other than hubcaps, is perfectly fine, so that's always good. Anyway, you'll see we've got loads of trees, pretty obvious, but we have some very nice roads here. My frame rate's all over the place. Sometimes it's over 30, sometimes it's dropping down just below 24. For the most part though, we're getting a fairly solid frame rate on my 765M GPU. Now these are some interesting tunnels. Maybe if you have a Formula 1 car or something and you know how to drive it, you can drive on the roof, but I'm not going to try that in a Ford LTD, that's for sure. We have a little shack thingy there. Just show it you. Almost like a bus stop. And I've got stuck. Oh dear, what have I done? Have I done something really stupid? I think I might have. Still, I'm sure I can free this. Yes, this way, this way. We can be free. We've got to be free. Please. Please free yourself. This isn't entertaining anymore. I'm just cheating. There we go. Cheating always works. Still, we're here to pick up passengers. Oh dear. I think the bush is in love with my car, and it won't let go. You can have the bumper, but you're not having my car. Oh, the moment I try and actually pull the bumper off, it's struggling to actually pull it off. Okay, you can do this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these bushes. They are not friendly bushes. Have I destroyed something on my car? It seems like it's not even putting drive down anymore. I think the bush is just pulling it back. That's craziness. We have eventually freed it though. And my bumper's somewhat restored itself. It looks worse than that in the bush. That must be said. Anyway, this is basically a turn off. You can turn around if you want and go back through that tunnel. Still, there is a dirt road where I had a GL83 before to do that. But this Ford is giving me good luck, so I think we'll try it in this Ford and just see if it can make it. Mind, we do have an open differential, but I drove one of these at one of the maps. I think it was Deserted, they called it. And it was pretty good there, over the sand and stuff, in a way a huge Ford land barge shouldn't be. I say huge, it's still smaller than an old's full size, but it's not a small car by any means. Looks like we have some electronics box thingy there. And this road, at least that way, it loops round back to the tunnel. So we're going to go this way and see what's up here. I really don't know, because I didn't drive this way last time. But I'm assuming we'll loop round to the same kind of place, since there's only so many ways roads can go. And something is up with the handling. I feel like my tyre's punctured or something, but it's still driving. The suspension's so soft it wouldn't surprise me. I did burst a tyre on the old's full size in my Industrial Rallycross series, and that kept going. I didn't actually realise it had a burst tyre because the suspension was so soft it completely compensated for it. And I just assumed the chassis had been bent a little because there wasn't really any handling attributes that had changed about it. We do have a clock. It's apparently midday. Doesn't seem to really be a functional clock, which is a shame. If that showed the real time, which is now 12:50, that would have been very nice. Anyway, we have another electrical box thingy. You can probably crash into them. I don't know. I'll have a look anyway. We have got some cows, which you can't crash into, you just go through them. And, yep, you can crash into them. Research complete. Now I can go and waste time doing other things. It seems we've looped back to the sawmill, though, where we were at the start, which is actually very convenient, because I did mean to show this part eventually. We have a jump there, and we have other bits. I need to show you the setup of the float truck, which has changed slightly from an earlier point in the video, because I can't help but mess with it. But anyway, we have our Ford, and we need to change the vehicle. So, here we return with the float truck to the sawmill, where I had a few problems before, but everything's fine now. And I'll show you what happens when you drive the animals. Nothing too offensive. Yeah, they just disappear, or if you're going at them from a different direction, you just phase through them. They're not really cows anyway, you can kind of tell they're only 2D. And that one's following me. Stop it, just because my truck's nicer than yours. Oh, the animals these days. The way they behave, you'd think they were animals. And we've crashed. But the car, I think, somewhat still works. The drive line's not broken. Right, we're going to take a jump in what's left of a float truck. And then I'll show you the setup. Well, technically, I guess you could call this a float truck too. I'm amazed this still works, the way it looks, though. Oh dear. I don't think we can take a jump. Or can we? I don't know. It's quicker on tarmac. It's actually like a slammed pickup. The slammed Toyota pickup particularly. That really struggled to put power down off-road, but you get on the road and it's actually okay. As long as you're not scraping down a hill, that much must be said. And we're in the complete wrong direction. Oh dear, and we have no momentum. Still, I'm just going to reset the truck. It makes everything easier. Now I've returned with a locked differential to hopefully make this jump. I tried 2 times before and I failed, so this is my final try. And we've done it. If only I could say the same about the car's condition. If that even makes sense. Anyway, this is our truck. You can see the inline 6 there. I wonder if my remaining lights work. Yes, that's a success. That's a success to me, even if it's not the world's biggest success. Anyway, I'm going to show you the setup now. We just have to go into the vehicle menu and the tuning selection. And there's the settings I've used. I've stiffened up the front, or I say stiffened up, I mean slowed down the front bump and the front rebound, since that seemed to make it better over bumps for comfort, maybe less sporty but better overall over the bumps. And the rear is the same as it was at the start of the video, vaguely. You can also open the tailgate, but I will get round to the rear later. The fast bump and fast rebound on the front and rear are about correct, it's just the slow ones I need to adjust. I'm going to now attempt to free myself of this structure and see if I can actually make it with a working car. I've not actually done that much damage now though. It looks like a complete mess, but mechanically it's fine. There we go. It's kind of a cheaty way, I guess you could say, because I did just smash up the roof of the vehicle a bit, but nonetheless, we are getting there. Not the grippiest tyres in the world, it's not an off-roader. I say that, it's a truck. I'm going to open the differential, it makes everything easier. And I've still got the parts menu open. What am I doing? Still, we have an open diff, as you can see. It's verging to the white, if that is even a thing you say. Or is it just something I've invented? I don't know. My frame rate's going down the toilet, really. And I've missed the hole I was aiming for. How very unfortunate. Anyway, we can hopefully find it. I don't know what's happening with my frame rate today. It's not having a good day. Oh, there we go. And you'll see we can go through there. It will bounce a little. That's a pretty good test. If a car is compliant and goes through there without any trouble, I can fully say it's floaty. So I'm going to leave you with this shot of my beautified D-Series and say goodbye until another day.